Let's see here. Is it? All right. Let me see. I think we are live. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Well, first, welcome everyone to Open Chat number 94. This is going to be a discussion on the business of college football. I want to welcome you all to the Black Brain Trust. Pardon me, you guys. It's been a minute since I fired up a live stream. Sometimes I get a little rusty, and I have a little bit of a sinus thing going on, so if I sound a little whatever, that's why. But let's do this. Can you guys just do me a favor? If you are in the chat, press if the sound is okay. All right. So if you guys can just press 2, let me know if the sound, everything is all good. I am going to also drop the link because I'm going to have Renaissance Man and I believe DC. I think they're going to join. We're gonna talk about this. All right, cool deal. Thank you, MOT. So that right there. Oops. That's for Renaissance Man and DC to come on up because we got some stuff we need to go over, man. We got we got to talk about some stuff. Yeah, let me tell you something. Right off the bat, the gynocracy has nothing to do with the business and politics of football, especially college football, particularly. Okay. That is kind of the main point we want to stick to because there was a little bit of a back and forth between myself. It was myself and Renaissance Man DC and with BGS. And he felt as though that this whole move with Deion going to Colorado was basically a strike back at the gynocracy, according to him. And we're gonna play this. We're gonna play this. I'm just waiting for them to come on up. However, listen, man, you got it's certain stuff, dude. You just gotta. Not everything has to do with the gynocracy, man. Not everything. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, MOT?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. I'm just waiting for Renaissance Man and DC. Let me see. Let me text Renaissance Man. Okay, he said he'll be in 5 minutes. Okay, he texted me. All right.
I mean, I can kind of get where he's talking about with the mismanagement of the child altogether, education-wise, but beyond that, I don't see how the gynocracy even plays into anything.
No, that wasn't his point. It wasn't his point, and I got to tell you, look when it comes to like the coaching carousel and teams moving around conferences and all this kind of stuff, dude, like come on, man, it's a little too ridiculous. It's just too much. Okay,
to me, it's a business, and like there's so many people who watched out of the Denver Broncos. You would see them at the training facility, and next thing you know, these dudes are like coming out there with their girl. They got this money, and all of a sudden, they don't need you no more. And now they're on the bus or whatever, going back home. Dream's over with. You get hurt, training camp, maybe on the practice team. One thing you do wrong, you're out of there.
Yeah, and not only but to add to that, we got these players that are making NIL money now, right?
Yeah.
So in addition, you now have a situation where the players themselves have a lot of autonomy in their own collegiate careers, right? They have the transfer portal where players
now winning matters a lot.
Yes. Yeah, and so my whole point was that the entire landscape of college football over, say, like the last, first maybe we got to go back to maybe like 10 years ago, when a large portion has been going on for the last 10 years, restructuring of television contracts. We have articles that we're going to be pulling up.
$1 billion media contracts.
Dude, the SEC their contract is $3 billion. Okay, $3 billion. And
Should have seen those.
JSU is in that same media market as the SEC. Now he's thinking that BGS was thinking that like Deion could bring JSU into $1 billion status, and I'm like,
What? What?
Yeah,
Let's even understand how the system
he's
works.
saying this shit. Like,
No.
the JSU doesn't, like, they don't have the media. They don't have the media reach or the deals in place to
Not
bring
at all.
revenue, and it has nothing to do with the gynocracy.
Nothing.
Come on, man.
I mean,
You gotta know the business.
no, I mean, but you just, sprinkle some gynocracy on it, and then it makes sense.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
I mean, when you're used to dealing with such underdeveloped men, you could just throw the pixie dust of the gynocracy around, and it really just makes people just forget about what they're talking about. But no, this is a specific business, and if you don't understand how it works, it doesn't work that way. I mean, you can literally, bullshit your way through every conversation with the gynocracy with people who don't know shit. But when you're talking about a very specific thing and complex thing, like college football or college any type of sport, yeah, it's way different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for Ren and DC to get here. I'm gonna pull up the first article here that's gonna go over the contract, the initial contract that Deion had with JSU. These are gonna be some points that well, actually, here, let me do this. I'm gonna do this. Here, let me. I'm gonna kill this here. Okay, so what we'll do is I will. Let me see. Here it is. And
so before we get started, people have to understand that with these colleges, especially if they're a state college, the governor of the state dictates how much money goes to all of these schools. They get to dictate that.
Well, not only that, but there's also what the conferences negotiate with the media outlets in terms of television revenues and all that, and then from there, there's the agreements that are made with the colleges, what the split is, and all that kind of stuff, right? That's where your athletic directors come in, and so like I said, it's a whole business. There's a business side to all this, and it's just like, dude, God, gynocracy, come on, no.
He can make a decent point about it. Doesn't mean it is true. I mean, but the point is
dude, there's literally no point though. It's like, dude, you can't bring gynocracy talk into places where it doesn't belong.
But that's the only way he can be a part of the conversation, though, is to have that there, and that's kind of where we're at things. We got to have dumb nigga inclusion when it comes to everything. So if you don't literally bring women into the conversation, most of these people can't stay awake in the class, dude.
Yeah, but any avid follower of college football knows, right, that has nothing to do with that. I mean, anybody who follows college football, right, and that's where it's just like, okay, oh my God, dude, okay, come on, dude, like no, not here, dude, come on, dude, college football, really?
Can you imagine if the actual college player said, shout out to the gynocracy, how big his head would be? Jesus.
They had one of those one of those after game press conferences, like, so coach, like, what do you how do you explain this loss? It's just like, well, there were some things that the gynocracy did earlier in the week that just really affected our gameplay. Like, dude, just come on, man.
Oh man,
Coach, would you say that in the second half, so there were some gynocratic maneuvers may have affected some of the play calling, or like, no? Coach is like, what? No, no.
Pretty much his head wasn't in the game because the Moynihan report did this.
Yeah. Do you think the Moynihan report had something to do? Hey, what's going on, Renaissance man?
Hey, what's up, MOT? What's up, Complex?
Nothing much, man.
Yeah.
So, you want to go ahead and kind of preface this, man. I don't know if people are maybe kind of following and stuff, but we wanted to kind of bring some clarity on the matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there really is like a business side to all of this, and it has nothing to do with the point of the gynocracy. So we just want to kind of clarify this. We're going to go through some articles and all that, but I think first what we should do is
Do we want to play the
kind of,
clip?
you want to play the clip? You want to do that?
Yeah. I'll give some background. I guess I don't know how far you guys went
Yeah,
into
go
it.
ahead. No, we were just kind of we were just waiting for you to come on up.
Yeah. So no, I don't know if people have been paying attention too much, but I'd say they talked about on the Gamecast yesterday. I'd say argue biggest sports story in the world right now is Deion Sanders. Most recently was at Jackson State. Recently, this past winter, took the job at Colorado. Currently has them at 2-0. Beat TCU last week on the road in Fort Worth. So that was a huge kind of I guess omen, putting people on notice. And then beat their arch rival Nebraska yesterday pretty handedly. So sitting at 2-0, looking like they're going to be 3-0 playing Colorado State with a big showdown.
And ranked 18 now.
Okay, I didn't check the rankings. Yeah, so they're ranked 18 now. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, looking like it's going to be a showdown in Eugene, not this weekend coming up, but next weekend against them. And I believe Oregon's ranked in top 10.
Yeah, they
Right
are. They have Colorado
there,
State. Yeah, they have Oregon's like number 9 or number 10.
Okay, yeah. They got Colorado State this next week, but for all intents and purposes, we'll think they're going to pull that out, and they're playing at home. And then, like I said, a big shootout. So Deion looks like he's ahead of schedule. So we were sort of chopping this up on the Codebreaker stream. Shout out to them. If you want, the Brain Trust is a pretty frequent guest over there on the Codebreakers, but we were sort of having a discussion about Deion and his success, and people started coming up challenging basically why he left Jackson State. Jackson State didn't do enough. Some even tried to tie it to the gynocracy. There was a short discussion about it on the Codebreakers, and I think there's been some other discussions, but I think really we just want to set the record straight of just how college sports operates, and why HBCUs are at a disadvantage. Y'all throw in anything else I may have missed?
No, I think that was kind of a good way to preface it, because we'll play this clip and it'll kind of give us a little more context, and then we can kind of go on from there. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and just play this here. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Wait,
we're what they want now.
Can you guys hear that?
They kind of
I can.
All right,
making it a way more. Yeah, you can even see it in the draft where he kind of like lets them wear their chains and he gives them the brother hug and shit.
Player friendly, man. Player friendly.
But Deion Sanders is the influence on that. Who remember? It was when there was NFL Network. Who was the first player to speak to those players after they got drafted? Deion Sanders. It's prime. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Urban playmaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it rubs black people the wrong way, Deion?
Wait,
or are we wrong? Are we wrong on that when we say that statement?
Wait,
he
rubs black people the wrong way?
Yeah.
Not really. Unless you're super conservative
let me
first. Like Spike Lee is a liberal. Spike Lee and Deion do not like each other.
All right.
So it's like it's certain I don't believe Deion Boulay.
there you go.
No, they got co-opted when they were young, so they're not street dudes.
Well, Pookie and Ray are not coaching. That's the thing too. Like even if they stay in the league like an AI, AI is not going to be a coach.
Pookie gonna say we talking about practice, man.
Practice,
yeah. It is DC tone. We're talking about practice, man.
Practice,
not a game. Not a game, bro. Practice, bro.
No.
What was his name? Paradox. Pac-Man Jones. I don't know.
Pac-Man, Pac-Man Jones. That's a Pookie.
I love Pac-Man.
Got Pookies.
And then you got the borderline.
Pac-Man is on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, Pac-Man, because they played together at West Virginia.
Yeah, they love Pac-Man. He's a good dude. Deion loves Pac-Man. That's his son to him, really. He loves that man.
Absolutely.
He almost started crying talking about him, bro. It's crazy.
I think Pac-Man he's the only reason why he was on the Cowboys team was Deion.
Yeah, for
only
sure.
Reason.
Yeah, people love Pac-Man. It's a good dude.
They got talent, man. He get talent waste. Yeah.
Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah,
always thank him for that playoff win.
But I'm loving it. I'm gonna clip that little piece. Do you believe now? Okay. I will clip that one.
With Deion?
Deion, oh yeah, man. You know what, man? The thing is that's a strike against the gynocracy, man, because that shit with the HBCUs and expecting people to come down and contribute for free and all that kind of shit. That's black female shit. You should do it for the culture and all that kind of stuff, and spend your money and cut the lawn and all that kind of crap, man. Instead of valuing for what he was, man. You get the golden. That's just the black culture, black gynocracy, and the black.
Now, how do we act? We
Okay.
talking about all this other stuff.
Okay, I think this is where DC kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're talking about right here. This is exactly where DC starts to.
You gotta scruff this guy like a cat, man.
Right. So for those of y'all listening, right? So there was this gynocratic situation. I guess in the PhD circles they call it gynopotestal or some shit. I don't know.
What?
But apparently it's some sort of gynopotestal sort of situation at JSU. And so this is the reason why Deion left, because how the gynocracy was treating him. This is what you just heard it. You just heard it. Now we're gonna listen to what DC has to say in response.
Yeah, man. It should be
With
good.
the black gynocracy
Because the stuff that they did is what black females do. You get a golden goose, you put on the golden goose, man. But just Deion Sanders and what he attracted was $1 billion. If they just paid him what he was worth, okay, that's $1 billion.
They should have paid him more than what he was worth.
That's the state of Mississippi. What?
Okay. The thing is, he had to come out of his own pocket. Okay, that's silly. Okay. All the HBCUs together should have came in and paid that man's salary.
That's not how that works.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna stop it. We're gonna stop that part. We're just stopping right there, right? So that right there is basically the crux of that's the crux of his argument right there, right? That really what this was that he got the black woman treatment or something rather. Now, I'm going to tell you like this, dude. I mean, dude, it was just kind of like, that's why even DC was just like, wait, what?
No, I mean, but he's trying to put the women's behavior, and it's like, dude, listen, Mississippi did not want to upgrade those fields. That has been a situation that was there for a while. I mean, look at Mississippi Valley State, where Jerry Rice went to. And they haven't upgraded nearly nothing there either. I mean, for me, leaving there in like, the late 90s, dude, nothing has really changed there all that much. Nothing. And it's like the allocation of funds to these HBCUs has always been a problem. And for some reason, you can't sue for equal protection when it comes to that for some reason.
Well, Renaissance Man, did you have anything you wanted to say about that?
No. I think we'll address it as we go through some of these articles. But I just wanted people to sort of get the basis of, hey, Deion wasn't paid, or, he was doing it for free, or, he wasn't paid accordingly. We could have, gotten the.
He has like $5 to $8 million in actual endorsements. That's endorsements, not paid.
Or we could have somehow Jackson State could have gotten like up to $1 billion, or they could have listed all HBC. I mean, this is what we're kind of dealing with and why that's not possible.
HBCU crowdfunding across state lines to pay for another man's salary at another school.
Public money now.
All the HBCUs had to kick in to pay his salary. I'm like, dude, that it just does not work that way. I was checking to see if
Kickstarter
up here.
Yeah. Ain't no
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Get a GoFundMe. All right, so let's check this out. This is from Sports Illustrated. This is from October of 2020. You guys pardon me, man. Like, I got my allergy stuff going on here. All right, Deion Sanders' contract with Jackson State is a 4-year, $1.2 million deal that includes at least $120,000 in annual performance incentives and automatic extension for an 8-win season. The former NFL star cornerback and Hall of Famer was announced last month as the new coach of SWAC School in Mississippi, landing his first college job in a stunning move that took America by storm. Sanders, 53, is to be paid an annual salary of $300,000 as part of a contract that begins December 1st of this year and runs through December 15, 2024. But he had a clause that he could leave. All right. Before taking over at JSU, Sanders is completing his job as offensive coordinator in Dallas area Trinity Christian Academy, where his son is a highly recruited starting quarterback.
Wait, right there. I just wanted to highlight that's what Deion was doing before he was coaching college. He was an offensive coordinator in high school. In high school. No, I just want to sort of level set that for people who sort of think that, you know, he really wanted the Florida State job. That was obvious, but I just want people to know where he was coming from with no
high school
prior, not even a high school head coach, a high school offensive coordinator. Yeah, OC. Just keep that in mind.
All right. University would owe Sanders the full remaining amount of his contract if they fire him within the first year of his employment. After December 15, 2021, Jackson State could fire Sanders for a price tag of $300,000. If Sanders were to leave JSU, he'd owe the school 50% of his remaining salary, which is what he did. Sanders' salary is on par with other FCS head coaches. Remember, he wasn't FBS. He was not FBS. He was FCS. Okay, but it would put him last among FBS public schools. So that means what they were paying him at FCS was on the lower rung of what FBS school coaches get paid. However, the contract is loaded with incentives. He receives $25,000 for each win over an FBS team. He gets $10,000 for a SWAC division title and $30,000 for a conference championship. If his team reaches the Celebration Bowl, a season-ending game pitting SWAC against the MEAC champion, he'd receive a $50,000 win bowl, $50,000 for the bowl win. Sanders could also get bonuses for ticket sales. If a game draws more than 30,000 fans, he gets 10% of all sales after 30,000. Now, remember, he was bitching about the fact that he was seeing somewhere close to like 50,000 people in the stands. And then when they went to go count the tickets, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we only sold like 25, 23.
Yeah.
So and he talked about that shit. So that's where the school itself was gypping him on this part right here. Okay. They were gypping him right there. He receives 10% of all season ticket revenue after the first 10,000 are purchased. Okay. If JSU changes conferences, he gets $100,000. Now, isn't that interesting? We were talking about conferences. Renaissance man.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I wonder why if JSU changes a conference, he gets that much money.
We'll get to that a little bit later, but I just wanted to highlight there. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Okay. There are several ways to trigger automatic extensions to his contract, including an 8-win regular season, which gets him 1 extra year. If the athletic director who hired him, Ashley Robinson, leaves Jackson State, Sanders gets 1-year extension. If JSU leaves the SWAC, he gets 2 years added onto his deal. So if they leave the SWAC, obviously that means they'd be stepping up in conference. That's why he would get more money, and they would have him for 2 more years.
So they were incentivizing him. See, this is why I wanted to lay out the contract, because it shows the incentives. It shows that, you know, it shows basically, hey, they recognize that, hey, moving out of the SWAC would be advantageous. It shows he is being compensated on par with his peers in the FCS, because once again, he's coming from a high school offensive coordinator. So this idea that Deion took less money, I will say this, he did give half of his salary to get the, I believe it was the locker room renovations completed early, or either on time, one of the two. I can't remember. So I will give him credit for that. But as far as like compensation, and we're going to go over the Colorado contract, the incentives, obviously it's a lot more money, but you can see the incentives align. And that's what I just really wanted to highlight. Unless you always want to add anything else.
No, not really.
Yeah, we got going up here. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? You know, I just wanted to quickly say, you know, people are making absolutely, you know, retarded comments about some gynocracy and other kind of madness. When, you know, this has nothing to do with it. When you're looking at everything, I was listening to Prime today, Coach Prime, and them talking about it. Listen, everybody doesn't want to admit, but at the end of the day, this is about the bag. So moving to these bigger conferences and stepping up the plate, it's about the money. It's at the end of the day, you got to follow the money, and that's ultimately what we're talking about. This is a business, and the coach of Oregon's was breaking on was basically trying to criticize Prime, because quite frankly, a lot of guys are intimidated by it. They don't like what he's getting ready to do. But then what did he do? His school moved up to the Pac-10. They got out of his conference and moved to the Pac-10. Why? Because it was about the money. So how they were trying to really get on Coach Prime and what was going on with him, guys don't want to talk about. People move to these conferences and they get into these bigger conferences because of the money. The money.
It's the money, dude.
The money.
Has everything to do with the money.
the mugger. And that's what folks don't want to talk about. Players are trying to grab the biggest dollars. And these teams, college football, do you know what kind of money?
Dude, the players are making money now through NIL deals. They're making money now.
But are you looking at the money that's generated and how much that could be generated for a school? It's ridiculous. So
you're not going to be able to recruit. Okay. So let's say that you got a Deion Sanders type NFL Hall of Famer coach dude who used to be a player. Dude, you're not going to be able to recruit over that. Let's say if you have one of these in each conference. Let's say you have Jerome Bettis or somebody who's actually going to be a Hall of Famer who wants to be a head coach, who wants the same type of power Prime has. He just kicked open the door for all these people to just run in here and run these people out of their stuff that they thought was theirs.
Yep.
And they have a better pedigree as a player, Hall of Famer, name recognition. Dude, these coaches ain't got that over Deion Sanders. You won't have it.
They don't have it. 15, 20 billion bucks. This kind of stuff is generating in these conferences. This is ridiculous amounts of money. So these schools, as much as they're about education, they're about the mugga. It's about the money. And that's what Prime was breaking down. Everybody's looking for the bag. You can never miss that. But if you're not fundamental in your thinking, you're going to miss that. So anybody talking about the gynocracy or anything else like that, those niggas are crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
I mean, they're out of their minds. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna tell you like this. The first article we read didn't say a damn lick about gynocracy. I can almost guarantee you this article ain't gonna say nothing about it. And any other article that we read about like all of this stuff, whether it's regards to Deion, coaching, conferences, all that, ain't gonna say shit about it. So look, let's talk about Deion's contract at Colorado. Okay. Deion Sanders has been the head coach of Colorado Buffaloes for a little more than a month. His contract was approved by the Regents on December 22nd. High-level details such as length, terms, and buyout have been known for a while. Still, we are here to review the nitty-gritty. Sean Keeler of the Denver Post did a great breakdown of the contract and details within. Colorado has done a great job setting up Coach Prime and his staff to be successful from what we can see in the contract. The CU administration definitely put its money where its mouth is when it came to extracting the best coaches in the land, and fans should be excited by this outcome. We were wondering about this question in December, and now we have an answer for now. Coach Prime will wear Nike during football functions. All right. See, so Nike's already in the mix. JSU didn't have that, did they?
Hold on a second. Nike was that the gynocracy?
I don't know. Yeah. Phil Knight. It was Phil Knight. I don't know if it was Phil Knight. I don't know.
Gynocracy. Yeah.
Gynocracy. The guy Nike. No. The guy Nike. The guy Nike.
Included in the 5-year contract approved late last month by CU's Board of Regents and provided to the Denver Post on Tuesday was a clause that requires new Buffs coach who had a deal with competing apparel company Under Armour to wear Nike Buffs products as appropriate in his new role as CU football coach. He was quick to point out that both Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders are signed to Under Armour, and that Colorado's current deal is set to run out in 2025. So the Under Armour deal is the NIL deal that Shedeur has.
Yeah.
he's getting paid directly from Under Armour. Okay, so that deal that Deion and Shedeur have was not through JSU. It's directly to them.
Yeah.
Coach Prime and Shedeur. Okay, that's an NIL deal. How Coach Prime will earn his money. Deion Sanders and the University of Colorado agreed to a 5-year deal. Okay, $29.5 million. Oh,
25,
shit. Okay.
25.9
Okay.
mil.
Right, hold on. Let me mute for just a second.
Yeah. You may need to pull up a calculator.
No. I just want to point out, I looked up the endowment. So Deion's contract is roughly $30 million at Colorado. The endowment of Jackson State is $60 million. That's the endowment.
So his contract is half of JSU's endowment?
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow you're supposed to match that. Like if you're JSU, which then now just for clarity, let me look real quick. I know Colorado, University of Boulder, Colorado, I believe it's in the billions, their endowment. Let me look for exact numbers.
Okay. Okay, because I could have
It's
sworn
a
this
lot.
has something to do with the gynocracy. I could have sworn.
Yeah.
I mean, fellas, kind of, let's get off the gynocracy statement. We know that's
All right.
absolute asinity and madness. So let's not waste time with that. Let's look at what's really going on in his conference, and how ultimately Deion and that team, if he does as well as we suspect, how he's going to change so many things in college football.
Everything.
We have to look at that. We have to look down the line. Let's talk a little sense here, and let's get away from some of the craziness.
Yeah, just for reference, I looked it up. The endowment of UC Boulder is $2.1 billion.
$2.1
$50 million versus $2.1 billion. And you wonder why they can hand out a $30 million contract to the football.
That's a lot of frog skins, man. That's a lot of frog right there, bro.
So check it out. The $29.5 million deal that will earn him $5.5 million just for the first year, right? Through a variety of means. So Sanders is scheduled to earn $5.5 million in his first year, with a base pay of $500,000. So his base pay went up $200K, supplemented by $1.75 million for radio, television, and public. Okay, so check this out. He's getting paid almost $2 million just to make appearances.
Yes. I mean, because like Colorado has a very strong weekend kind of battery that each head coach has to go through.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of the same thing for the Broncos too. And that's a lot of shows that he has to kind of do for an hour on the weekend. Bullshit call-in shows with stock callers or whatever. But yeah.
Okay, but it's $1.75 million. I'll do bullshit call-in shows for $1.75 million.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will.
Let's see. Check it out. Another $1.75 million for promotion and fundraising. You see, so he's getting paid to raise money.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to get paid to raise money. Like, think about that. Okay.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that boosters and everybody do. That's what you do. That's the biggest thing you do out there for these schools is bringing money, raise money, get more people to drop endowments to the school. That's what this is all about.
And let me tell you something. He earned that $1.75 million in just the first 2 games of this year.
Yeah,
man.
Man,
I remember Jim Boeheim when he was at Syracuse when I was there. Why was he the big coach there for so many years? The people he brought in, the endowments, what he brought in.
I think Citizen Lou was in the back for a second.
Come back up. You can pull up. Just let me know because I have this screen up so I can't see the back. So Lou, if you want to pull up, you can, bro. And then look, another $1.5 million for development of the student athlete, and that's in quotes. We don't even know what that means. Okay. The assistant pool has gotten bigger. The university stepped up by helping Coach Prime hire some top-tier assistants. Colorado is giving Coach Prime a $5 million pool to hire assistants in sports. So he's got basically a salary of $5 million for his coaching staff.
Yep.
This is up from. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's the other thing people aren't talking about. They're talking about, he was just giving Deion the money to stay. You got to hire other coaches. And see, that's the part that's missed. That when you're able to leave and take coaches with you, like he did, he took several coaches from JSU with him to Colorado. You just have that $5 million. You just up their salary. You probably just doubled their salary. Because if Deion was making $300,000 as a head coach, you're talking about a wide receivers coach that was probably making $50,000 or something.
Right.
Now you're talking about one that's probably going to be making more like 250, 300,000.
Right.
I mean, that's the difference here that people miss, in that it's not just he got more money, the people around him got more money.
That's the whole thing, to bring in that coaching staff and get them paid as well. That's the big, of course, that's the big piece.
And that's the other thing on the other end of trying to keep him at Jackson State is you would not only have to pay him, you'd have to find a way to give him enough money to pay his coaches. That's what people are missing here.
I mean, it was all
pay for it.
Exactly. And remember, Deion, from what he was getting paid over there, he was giving up some of his pay and money already to keep some of these guys around. That's what he was doing at Jackson State. That's what Deion was doing. Besides cutting the grass and doing things of that nature.
Excellent PR move for him. Excellent PR move.
Excellent move. And he's going to change the game. So you got to look at the business of what these guys are doing. So that's what it's in. College football is a business like everything else.
All right, so this is right here. With Coach Prime coming on board, everything gets bigger. The terms of the contract, the recruiting, and the buyout, which would come into play if he terminates his contract. Darrell was the prior coach. His buyout from his first year started at $10 million and went down each year based on his annual salary. Coach Prime's buyout starts at a whopping 15 and drops at a slightly higher rate. So those damages drop to $10 million if it's after his second year, $8 million after his third, and $5 million after his fourth or final year, his fifth year. On the flip side, if Colorado buys Sanders' contract, the university will owe him 75% of his remaining salary. All right, so let's take a look at the incentives. $150 for winning the Pac-12 or being named National Coach of the Year. I think he was only going to get $30 for winning the conference in the SWAC. $150,000 for winning 6 games, and $150,000 for winning 6 games in a season, and $100,000 for winning each game. $100,000 for each game after that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to
if he won 8 games, at JSU, I think he got $10,000.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. $750,000 if Colorado wins a national title.
Versus, I think it was like $50,000 for the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, $50,000 over at JSU. This is about business, dude. This is not about gynocracy. I'm sorry. Nicole,
anybody else who hear that feedback on Renaissance Man's line?
Hey, Ren, I think there is some feedback on your mic, dude.
Hey, Ren, you're gonna have to go out and come back in.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll pause it right here for. I'll keep the article right here.
Yeah.
Let me go over here.
Yeah. It's the business. It's business. You have to understand that. I mean, I went to Syracuse, so we saw just what that was all about, especially when it came to basketball. Football was all right, but basketball, that's what it was all about. The boosters and everybody coming in there and just stacking up the green. These guys haven't really gone to colleges, I guess, so they don't really know how that system really works. But this is about the money, and also the bigger conferences that you move up into, the bigger amount of revenue dollars come in from that as well on your squads. And the higher you do, the greater revenue you get, the more money your school brings in. So it is within your interest to try to get into bigger conferences when you can do that. And that's what these schools are constantly doing all the time. And it's about the bag. It's the bag. Yeah, you can never miss that. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this was the point I was trying to make on DC's about the importance of the conference, right? Because the conference is what determines how much money is in that pool.
Yep.
Right. Like when we read over JSU's contract, the contract that he had with JSU, when we read over that one, it was like if JSU moved to another conference, all of a sudden he's getting a bump up and everything. Right? Because you see the SWAC, there was only but so much money in the SWAC. You really wasn't going it didn't matter how many eyeballs or whatever, whatever the case.
They weren't going to get the revenue generation that you had if you going to a bigger conference. That's what you have to understand.
That's what is this better?
Yep, you sound good.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. That's the piece. You got to understand that fundamentally. When I hear guys talking about the gynocracy and all that, I know these guys have lost their minds. So I'm saying you have to stick to the bottom line. You have to stick to the money, stick to the dollars and cents, how this works, and then it begins to make a lot more sense. Then
right,
you talk sensibly.
All right, I'm gonna hit this last part, and then we'll pull up some of the other articles. I'll let Renaissance get back in because I know there was a point he was trying to make, but the mic was coming across kind of scratchy. It says Colorado's on a streak of handing out its biggest head coach contracts ever, with Sanders' deal exceeding Coach Durrell's. Coach Prime's contract could even grow bigger after his third year due to renegotiating opportunity. So check this out. The contract features a clause that effectively opens a window for renegotiation of salary and separation terms after the 2025 season, which would be Sanders' third season. Remember, his deal is for 5 years. In the paragraph, Colorado University and Sanders agree to meet and confer in good faith on a contract extension after year 3, in which topics for discussion must include base, supplemental, and incentive salary, liquidated damages, and termination without cause and obligation to mitigate. So, dude, they have already set the stage to renegotiate after year 3. If he runs the table the first 3 years, bro, Colorado's going to throw the book at him.
But they're going to move into a bigger conference. They're going to get into the Pac-10.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be a whole different
they're going to move.
bro.
They'll move over to like the Big 12 or because that's going to be like the big conference.
I think they're going to go into the 10, bro. I think they're going to the Pac-10. But
they're leaving Pac because you got all the other USC and I think UCLA and a couple other teams. They're leaving the Pac.
Yeah.
So the Pac is going to become a conference full of state schools: Oregon State,
yeah,
San Jose State, San Diego State, Fresno State. Arizona State. That Pac-12 is going to turn into that conference. So
maybe so. Yeah.
Let me pull this back up here.
But they're gonna move into a bigger conference. Which one that's going to be is going to be interesting to see. But that's with them. That's when we saw more money. That's what this thing.
More money.
It's going to be moving to. It's no doubt, no doubt about it. Yeah. Keep killing them, Complex. Go ahead, break it down.
No, we are good, man. I'm just hey Ren, did you have something you wanted to bring up? Anything you want to mention?
No, nothing specifically. We can go, so you don't have to go specifically in order. It's just I think those are all references. We don't even have to touch every single one of them. But okay. Just kind of highlights like that one's gonna highlight the actual facility at Colorado versus the JSU facility.
Oh my God. Oh.
Why is it sending me to Discord? Oh wait, there it is. Maybe later. All right, let me do this. No, that's not what I. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen. All right, we see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. University of Colorado is a prestigious school with tuition prices to match. That being said, it may still come as a surprise that the university spent a whopping $177 million on its football facility. I wonder how much JSU spent on theirs.
We'll find out.
Okay, so not only is the facility one of the fanciest of its kind in the state of Colorado, but it also boasts the largest equipment room in all of college football, among other things. Wait, in all of college football? Why? Why them? Okay, keep scrolling to learn about and take a virtual tour of the massive, ultra fancy football facility at CU Boulder. As mentioned above, let's see. The football facility at CU Boulder costs estimated $177 million, and upon seeing it for the first time, you'll definitely see why. The facility has a state-of-the-art weight room filled with custom gold-painted weights with programs named forged into them. You'll also take a trip through Legacy Hall, which is filled with trophies, uniforms, past and present, and other items commemorating big games and events. I'm trying to get to damn, that's like the
that's
meeting
a team
room.
Meeting room.
That looks like damn.
It's going to show you all the pictures. That's the weight facility.
Yeah. Very nice,
Weight
man.
room.
Very, very nice.
UC Health Champion Center. So they got people purchase naming rights to that. Oh God, that's indoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole. Is that a whole field or is that a half a field?
No. They got a whole. They got a whole.
They got that whole field. That shit is gorgeous.
God,
Yeah, it is.
Indoor field.
That shit's gorgeous.
You should go out there. If you're ever out there on 36, north of Denver, you should go out there.
Nah, I heard Coach Prime today. He was laughing. He was like, "This ain't a job. This for me is just fun. This is not a job. I'm sitting out here with one of the craziest facilities, gorgeous mountains, field looking off the chain, all this crazy stuff I'm around." Says you got to be out of your mind talking about this as a job.
That's the locker room.
He was saying this shit is highly butter laid.
Oh man.
Butter laid.
And they handed him the keys because they want him to actually boost them up and make more media money. Man, like, do they know what they're doing?
Hey man, it was a brilliant move to bring this man over there for them.
It was.
It was a brilliant move for them. For them, it was a brilliant move. And he's going to produce a winner. And he's going to produce a winner. Come on, man.
Or else, you can keep slumming it at Jackson State. Come on, man. It's no brainer, bro. No brainer.
Hey, man. Jackson.
And hey, I'm from Mississippi and I live in Colorado, so I think I'm the most qualified person to say that. Are y'all sorry?
and listen, Mississippi, they just didn't have the mugger, man. They didn't have it. They just didn't have it. They didn't have it. It was, and he had to do a lot of things himself, like we were talking about before. He had to mow the grass. He had to mow the lawn himself. He had to get on the back of the tractor.
A PR move to get to where he is now. I'm glad he did all that humiliating that shit. Now you can't tell him nothing now.
That's exactly. And that's what those other white coaches and the rest of those guys. That's what they're uptight about. Because they know what he's bringing to the table, and they know he's getting ready to change the game. And it's like, man.
That's just one NFL Hall of Famer. Dude, you can have all these dudes coming straight out of retirement. Okay, all right, I'm going to do this in this conference. Okay, all right, I'm going to do this in this conference. Just being a normal white guy just ain't going to cut it no more. The pedigree is going to have to be NFL player, Hall of Famer. This is what one Hall of Famer has done to their actual situation. Could you imagine 5 or 6 men in there? Come on.
But and he's a genius of the game. And one of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. We know that for sure. Two-sport, champion and all that. But he's also been a coach. He's been a coach long. This guy is he's a scientist of the game. He understands this. He's just not a great player. This guy can teach. He really can. He
knows the X's and O's, man. But
he knows it well.
But imagine a son growing up in that household around this.
But that's why he QB in it. Look at him at the QB spot. Come on, man. Come on, look at his boy. At the center of the offense. And they getting ready to bust all kind of tail up in there. This is how it goes.
You guys see Jibba Jabba's comment, right? Because they do. They have the band and like what's the marionette chicks or the girls that twirl the things or whatever. Oh yeah, they got just the baddest and the latest and greatest and new shit. But yeah, no money for the football program though.
Yeah,
no money for the squad. Squad, what's up?
No money for the program. Couldn't keep Deion there, but you have money for new band uniforms. Okay. All righty. Okay, well let's take a look. Economic factors cause Jacksonville State to reimage $80 million development plan. Okay. Jackson State University leaders recently restructured an $80 million development plan due to inflation, chain supply issues, and increasing interest rates. Wow. Original plan announced in July was an $80 million addition to JSU's football program. The plan included the demolition of the old football press box and the construction of a multi-level residence hall. The project included a 65,000 square foot dining hall, football suites, and team offices, kind of like what we were just looking at Colorado.
Yeah.
According to Dr. Harmon, Senior Vice President of Finance and Administration and Chief Financial Officer. Wow, she holds all those together? Huh. For the university, the expansion project was adjusted to address ongoing economic factors. The project still consists of the original 3 parts, but they are now 3 separate projects in 3 different locations instead of centered around the stadium. The capital project is transformational for JSU. This approach allows each new facility to address the uniqueness of the various programmatic elements Okay. Separating the expansion into 3 projects at 3 different locations has minimized the construction time, reduced anticipated construction costs, and allows for utilization of local area suppliers and contractors, said Dr. Harmon in a statement to ABC 3340. The expansion project includes new football operations. North Village Housing and Campus Dining Hall. The football operations facility will include a lower level field club lounge, upper level game day suites, coaching staff, offices, meeting rooms, training facilities, locker room, and the Football Hall of Fame. All right. In fall of 2022, the university set record enrollment for the second year in a row with 9,633 students compared to 9,540 students for the 2021 fall semester. Oh, I wonder who had something to do with that. JSU, the amount of students coming here is increasing fast, said Jaleric Glenn, a JSU freshman. With more people coming in, some students believe additional housing should be at the top of the list when it comes to improvements. Either that or not accepting any or as many applications. One of the two. They've got to do one or the other, or it's just going to be a problem for everyone, said Dakota Underwood, a sophomore. I have a friend who just barely managed to get in. She's a third-year student. She barely scraped by, and she applied about a week early. I definitely think they should put more effort into housing. Knowing that additional housing opportunities are in the works with the North Village as a relief for some on campus, especially for those who aren't originally from the area. At least I'll know I'll have a room because this year I was very unsure, Glenn said, who is from Alexander City. Although there is some housing off campus, Glenn explained, for some students that is not
far too expensive. Far too expensive, dude.
Yeah.
Jackson
if there was
State
a dorm,
housing? Woo.
Yeah. There wasn't a dorm available, I probably would just have to come because an apartment really wasn't in the options at all. I probably wouldn't have come. Senior Jamarcus Duncan said he's seen a lot of change on campus since he was a freshman. I was here when the tornadoes hit Jacksonville, so I had to kind of move around and get myself settled back. He said, we do have people living in hotels and stuff. I heard about that. Trailers too. So having a place where they can connect with the people they come here with, that's very important. Rebounding from the tornado in 2018 has been something the school has been working on. It is estimated that the greater university area lost approximately 400 beds as a result of the tornado. The new North Village Housing semi-suite floor plan will provide an additional 500 beds to meet the increased on-campus housing developments, said Dr. Harmon. So yeah, it's like this has more to do with JSU's just overall infrastructure.
Yeah, financial infrastructure. That's always been this way. And if Deion Sanders would have never went to that program, you never would have heard about these things.
Right.
You never would have had nobody doing stories on these things.
Okay. DC
like the majority of my class graduated from actual Jackson State. Well, like maybe like a quarter of them who went to like Mississippi Valley, but the rest of them went straight to Jackson State. All of them.
Yeah, and the thing I wanted to point out too in that article was just the fact that you have an $80 million facility, and you have already people who are saying, "Hey, like we have concerns about housing. Can we really go spend $80 million?"
Drop out again.
Wait, can you hear me? Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearer now. Like the feedback came back for a second, but you're clearer now.
Okay. No, I was gonna say the thing I wanted to highlight for that article was just the fact that that you already have people saying, hey, that essentially we need housing. We can't go spend $80 million on just football facilities, and contrast that to Colorado where they spent $170 million on just football facilities. Yeah. Like just the sheer capital difference. And that's what I'm really trying to highlight here is that this has nothing to do with just gynocracy, and you're not going to be able to scale this thing either to where you think they're going to bring. We'll get to that later where it shows the actual revenue by programs, but you're never going to get Jackson State to $1 billion by just growing quote unquote eyeballs. Like because you're going to need the school to actually your alumni support if you really want to support these big time programs. Like you'll see, like it's not a coincidence. These schools have 50,000 people going to them versus JSU doesn't even have 10,000.
I mean, it's all about the resources, man. And a lot of people think that this stuff is built over years. And he just got there. There's no way that guy was going to be able to stay in that program like that. There was no way. And I'm happy about where he's at right now. I'm happy about the success that he has, and they have to try to throw all these factors in there. I don't think it matters, to be quite honest with you.
Complex. They want you to pin the stream. Pin the link in the chat for DC.
Oh, wait, can you guys hear me okay? There it goes.
You weren't saying anything before, but we hear you now, or
Okay.
I hear you now.
Yeah, no, my connection dropped. That's what happened. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, yeah, I dropped the link in there for DC. So, yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I just dropped off for a second. I was about to go get up and check my modem, see what was going on.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is like that after all that water, man.
Yeah. So look, just really kind of circle back on a lot of what this conversation is about. It's like, dude, it's like, don't make a mountain out of a molehill, dude. Some things are just not about, it's just like, don't bring things into conversations where it doesn't belong. You know what I'm saying? This isn't about no gynocracy crap, dude. It really isn't. You didn't see anything about that in any of the articles that we've read today. It's all about the money. Like pure and
money that they're not going to donate, and I'm not going to donate either. Man, what's wrong with just looking at the situation for what it is? The investment equal the outcome.
Okay.
It is a beautiful campus, though, man. It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah, it looks nice, man.
Nestled right in the mountains. The mountains are like right there in your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like people had a lot of fun there yesterday, man, when they stormed the field.
Yeah, you want to go to the next article complex?
Yeah, let me pull it up, and then I'm gonna need to go and blow my nose, man, because now my allergies are really starting to mess with me. So if you want to, do you want to present Renaissance if you can read? I was gonna step away for a quick second and just kind of take something, man, because now my nose is starting to.
Yeah, I can't present because I'm on my phone. My internet connection is not doing too well, but
okay,
not
let me see.
You
Let's see here.
You want to just take 5 for a second?
Yeah, well, I was gonna wait for DC to come on up.
Okay,
because he said 5 minutes, so I think any minute he's gonna pull on up here. Let's see here. Open this one up. Let's see here. All right. So let me share my screen.
Hey, Complex, I'm gonna drop down, okay?
You gonna drop down?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna drop down, man. But listen, thanks for inviting me up.
All right, no problem to go.
All right, family. All right.
All right.
All right, RM.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Now I'm trying to see why. Oh, here he is. I need to do this. All right. Oops. All right. So here we go. Oh wait,
yes.
where'd that article go? Here, let me try to. Here we go. All right. end financial segregation that harms HBCUs, such as Tennessee State University. TSU has received national awards for community service and engagement, but the state has underfunded the university for decades. This needs to stop. The first Morrill Act was passed in 1862 by Abraham Lincoln, providing federal land to states, in part to establish colleges for education and research into the sciences, including agriculture, engineering, and other programs. After the passing of the Second Morrill Act in 1890, states such as southern states were required to provide land-grant colleges and universities for Black students not permitted to attend white land-grant schools. With this act in effect, Black churches, founded by many still standing historically Black Black churches backed by the American Missionary Association and the Freedmen's Bureau, founded many of the still standing historically Black colleges and universities. HBCUs were radical institutions creating opportunities for African Americans to obtain a college education within the comforting environment that upholds and celebrates their identities. Even in the modern age, HBCUs continue to celebrate African American scholarship and culture in the face of tremendous hardship. That late President George W. Bush described the value of these institutions at a time when many schools barred their doors to Black Americans. These colleges offer the best and often the only opportunity for a higher education. HBCU graduates from a variety of schools have achieved positions of leadership in the United States, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Senator Raphael Warnock, novelist Toni Morrison, journalist and former football player Michael Strahan, and philanthropist Oprah Winfrey. Founded in 1912, TSU is the only state-funded HBCU in Tennessee. HBCUs are a valuable part of the American university system, although they represent only 3% or 2-year and 3% of 2- and 4-year public and private nonprofit institutions that participate in federal student financial aid programs. They are responsible for 17% of all bachelor's degrees earned by Black students, including a large portion of first-generation students that require financial aid to attend college, a growing segment of the student population. All land-grant institutions were initially founded to promote research. White land-grant schools have been able to build their research departments based on years of plentiful state funding, historically denied or limited for institutions like TSU. Despite their value to the educational system, HBCUs have been grossly underfunded compared to the financial support provided by the federal government or to other white-majority universities. Forbes estimates that HBCUs have been underfunded by at least $12.8 billion in the last 3 decades. Let me just check something.
There we go. There we go. That's one of the big things I wanted to highlight in that article was the fact that $12 billion, that's why this whole idea of, Deion Sanders and, he's going to scale, bring in $1 billion and all these HBCUs can donate money to pay us. It doesn't work
it's
like
impossible. Not when this is happening.
Yeah, not at all.
Right there. Not when you got this. Underfunded by at least $12.8 billion. So everybody else got like a $12.8 billion head start on you. You think one guy is going to ascend one school to the billion-dollar ranks? No way.
Yeah, exactly. No, you can keep going. That's all I wanted to highlight really in this order. I think it breaks down actually Tennessee State, I think, as well. So you can finish this one out.
Okay. According to various laws enacted as far back as 1877, federal land-grant university funding must be matched from a non-federal source, typically the state. However, it wasn't until 2017 that Tennessee state legislature began meeting its matching requirements for TSU. It only started doing that in 2017. Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning that Tennessee did not legally support the school as required for 105 goddamn years of its 110-year existence. That's why I was like, wait, you just started doing it? Oh, okay. So, man, you got a lot of catching up to do. Some effort has been made by Tennessee to improve its support of TSU, yet a significant financial disparity remains. Currently, $8,339 per student in state funding is provided to TSU. However, that amount is nearly 50% less than the $12,865 per student the state provides to the University of Tennessee system, which is 77% white. TSU has accomplished much in the past 11 decades. Despite the lack of state financial support in 1999, researchers from the TSU Center of Automated Space Science were the first to discover a planet outside of our solar system. Huh. Did not know that.
Yep.
TSU has received national awards for community service and engagement, and the university obtained the community engagement classification from the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. TSU served as a safe haven, opened its doors to flood victims in 2010, was awarded $8 million for Race to the Top funds by President Obama. And to set things right, in November 2021, a joint land grant committee was formed by Rep. Harold Love Jr. with assistance of Tennessee State leadership, university leadership. The effort validated that TSU had been underfunded for decades and was now owed between 151 and 5. Okay, how do you do 151 and 544 million in back funding? I would say it's probably closer to 544, not 151. Right, for as long
Yeah.
as they were underfunded, yeah, I would say it's close to the $544 million mark. In 2022, Governor Bill Lee, in a nonpartisan agreement, announced in a state of the state speech in June that Tennessee would provide TSU with $250 million in funding designated for physical infrastructure, a substantial win. The financial segregation experienced by TSU and other HBCUs is not political in the traditional sense, as both political parties have had control of the Tennessee budget during the past 100 years and were unanimous in the consistent and continuous decision to underfund the university. So, look, you can split it down the middle, Republican, Democrat, don't matter. Okay, this is just kind of like a systemic thing. However, a new day has arrived, and HBCUs are experiencing a renaissance. Man. The funding cannot come at a better time, as TSU requires $400 million to ensure that the campus and physical plant receive needed updates. After 110 years of serving the national community, that's the least we can do. Huh. There we go. DC's here.
Hey, what's up, DC? Yeah, I was gonna say complex. There's only a couple articles that I think we can, a couple more I think we can highlight. I think it's on the a lot of background noise. Yeah, there's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, it's a lot of background noise.
All right, that's all. I'm gonna finish.
Okay. Oh, what was that? What were you saying, Renaissance?
No, there's no. I was gonna say. I don't know if you want to continue on because I know you obviously got the allergies. Or there's only two. I think there's only two other articles we really need to hit.
Well,
or we can take a break if need be.
Yeah, I was just going to step away for a quick second, blow my nose, but I did want to just make sure we're kind of going through, and because we haven't highlighted any comments, or I was just kind of comb through here. There's a comment. Why are you talking about overrated Sanders? Overrated. He's 2-0. They're ranked number 18.
Yeah, Shonda's got a couple of good comments in there, I think, too. Okay, I think Mike's got a good one as well.
Yeah, Citizen Louis said he didn't get the notification. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Randy Moss became a coach next. Yeah, Diesel Mike. Right? Randy Moss, Ed Reed. Bunch of cats, man. Like Deion's showing them the way, man. They got a career after football that involves football if they want one. That's right, he sure was. Deion was signed to Nike back in the day. I remember the joints, the shoes that he had with the Falcons. I remember those joints. Let's see here. Let's see. Shonda said the SWAC that had to divide that money amongst 10 schools for years. Now the split is amongst 12 schools. Huh. There you go. Shonda said JSU's facility was given to them by the state of Mississippi. Veterans Memorial was formerly University of Mississippi Stadium. The state blocked funding bill for J State to get a new stadium in 2021. I think that was mentioned in one of those articles we read there. Let me see. Ryle said mostly white board of trustees wasn't going to allow Sanders to come in as if he was some uppity. Board of trustees getting all the money. Well, there's so much money, man. Like, that $2.1 billion endowment, man. He said the Deion Renaissance, his salary is half of JSU's endowment. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
The devil's in details. Be very interested. See what Sanders' contract. Okay, well, yeah, we read over that. Okay. Okay, Shonda, she said, Dr. Glenda Glover, TSU president, has been doing amazing work to increase the enrollment and infrastructure at TSU. Also, TSU coach Eddie George did a great interview on HBCU Game Day this weekend. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I know Eddie George is coaching there. He's another one.
Yep.
See, Diesel Mike said Howard University may be the first HBCU with $1 billion endowment. Interesting. Maybe, perhaps, huh? Renaissance?
Yeah, I think theirs is around like 600-700 million, something like that. So I mean, once again, that's one of the first HBCUs that were founded, and they get money from, I believe, the federal government as well as I know technically because they're in DC proper. Yeah, I think they have federal money as well as it's kind of one of the flagships. So they've just always been taken care of versus a small public school in Mississippi.
Yeah. Okay. Grandmaster Troll says they should not be ranked 18. What should they be ranked, bro? They should not be ranked below 20. Yeah, they should have climbed at least 2 spots, bare minimum, to 20. But I'll take them at 18. Yeah, Royal. Deion's first sneakers. I remember them joints. All right, let's go check in with DC, see if he was all good. Is DC, you there?
Yeah. I'm here. In fact, it's funny because me and Paradox, man, we're like diehard Cowboy fans. So we we normally meet up and check out the game. So we're like at a local spot, here in the DMV, checking out the game. So I'm outside right now. So is it better now?
You good?
Can you hear me better?
Okay, you sound better. Yeah. Okay, hey man. So did you get a chance to really kind of check or listen in as we kind of covered those articles, especially particularly the first 4? We talked about the contract breakdown at JSU, the contract breakdown at Colorado. Then we also looked at the facilities and stuff, right? Like the difference, right? And it kind of just more or less spoke to the point we were making, man. Like this wasn't about no damn gynocracy, dude. This has to do with Power 5 conferences, major schools. You know what I'm saying?
I'm even shocked on how far this has went, to be honest with you. Like some of the stuff that's been said, that's been we've been misquoted, and we're going to go through, me and Paradox, we're going to go through and kind of do just a review of what was actually said, because and this is not, I know that you guys or you have something with BGS, and I understand it from all. Well, but you know what I mean. Like either he feels that way, or there's an energy there. You know what I mean?
No, here's what it is, DC. It's simply put, man. Sometimes you're just not right about everything. I have
absolutely.
To. I have to make it so plain. It's not a thing that I have or nothing.
I get it. I get it, bro. Because that's what's happening.
Junkie.
That's what's happening to me, because when it first was broached, right, about the gynocracy and about it being a black woman thing, he said that he didn't say anything about black women. And I'm like,
I played it.
Oh, so you played it.
I played it at the beginning.
Yeah, you said
I
that.
literally played when you were you were like, come on, BG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm not being belligerent, you know what I'm saying, or trying to knock down your talking points. But this is college football. Like, college football operates like this. They're petty, they're jealous. If they can steal your recruit, they'll do that. I mean, if you want to equate it to feminine,
coaches will pull recruits to a program and then bounce on the recruits.
That's what I'm saying. They'll leave a program in the middle of recruits.
Bro.
Just no integrity, dog. Very feminine type of behavior. If you want to attribute feminism to, or feminine behavior to, the gynocracy as far as black culture and everything of that nature, then you have to do the same thing when it comes down to the white culture. You can't look at them and say, well, no, at the PWIs, they do it better than this, and they're just bad. Like, come on, man. That's when I got triggered because I'm like, dude, are you for real? Like Alabama, Auburn. I mean, we just seen it recently. Like, these people would do anything to get an advantage, athletic advantage, especially when it comes down to football and football recruits, man. They play dirty. They don't play fair. They don't give a damn about who's mad and none of that type of stuff. Nope. The only difference between the HBCUs and the PWIs is that they got the funding to cover them. So no matter how sorry they are or how terrible they are as an actual team, they still have an endowment that can carry them and not have all this baggage that comes with the HBCUs. See, HBCUs, they don't have the funding or the money to cover up their bullshit. So
that's
when
what we were covering.
Yeah. So when they take money away from the athletic department, you're gonna feel that. One of the departments, dude, I stood in line, dude. I'm gonna tell you, man. When I was a scholarship player, right? Scholarship player. I stood in line. I was in a gymnasium, bro, waiting to get my class. Like literally, like school already started. I'm like, why am I sitting here, like in a hot ass gymnasium, waiting to get my classes and all this type of stuff? Because that's just how it is at HBCUs. It's just they don't have the money. They don't have the funding. People are not being paid on time. The financial aid office is funny. Everybody that went to HBCUs knows this. Some HBCUs are better than others. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you got some of them that are way better than others, man. And they have improved since I went to school. They have improved. So it's not down. They're not on the bottom as far as handling their business anymore. But you're talking about Mississippi, bro. You're talking about Jackson State. If I'm not mistaken, there's like 5,000 to 6,000 kids that go there. Come on, man.
Well, no,
bro.
The enrollment now is at what is it? Was it Ren?
It's 9,500 right at
95. Yeah, I was gonna say it's
okay.
Like 9,500.
Okay.
And that's after the enrollment surge from Deion coming too.
So what was it before though? Because last time I
94.
It was like
94 to like 96.
Yeah, they said like 2001 it was like 95 something, and then 2022 it was 96 something.
Okay. But I mean,
versus the University of Colorado is, I think, around close to
30,000.
30,000.
Yeah. You talking about UT, small cities. These universities carry their towns. All the funding that they get, all the support that they get, it's night and day. And these programs can go 0 and 10 and
or
still
1
get
and
all
11.
this money.
They can go 1 and 11.
Hold on. Deion didn't create those facilities when he got there. Those facilities were already there when he got there. So he still had all that funding and money.
Thank you. Look, that was the other
That's
point.
the truth.
That was the other point I wanted to make. You know, this whole thing of like, Colorado didn't even have the money to pay Deion. I'm like, BS. I'm like, dude.
Did he say that? I did not.
Yes.
I must have heard that. I tried to be quiet. I just went silent for a minute because I wanted him. Because let me just say this. It's put out there that every time that I disagree with BJS, and I notice that he's looking at me like I'm this antithesis of him. So every time that I come up, it's like, oh boy, here he comes. He's going to disagree with me. DC is going to do this. He's going to interrupt me. So anytime that he waits, I wait for him to finish. And then when I start talking, he interrupts. And then when I rebuttal the interruption, he be like, why are you interrupting? I'm like, BGS, you just got through talking. like, come on, man. You can't not be this.
Ain't that what I said last night?
Yeah, it is.
You can't do me like that.
Hey, Ronald, that is what you said. But but look, this is
that's exactly what I said last night. I use DC as an example, bro. I use it. I literally just said it last night.
And I'm saying, dude, it's literally on like because we played back the beginning part. We played that part where he went into that, and then when you were just like, man, what? And you went into like what you, and then that was when that whole exchange started, and I just stopped it right there because really what I wanted to do was just get it on the record that he did say that. Okay.
Yeah, and also what he said that kind of got me kind of like really bothered was that he didn't have a chance to express himself, or he didn't have a chance to say what he wanted to say, and that we kept interrupting him, or we basically treated him unfairly on the panel. Anybody that goes back, please, I implore anybody that's listening to this, please go back and listen to that call. There is no way. I sat there. I made sure I'm just going to be quiet. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let him talk. Here go Paradox right here. I'm going to let him talk. I'm going to let him do what he do. And I'm not going to interrupt. Hey, Paradox, come here real quick, bro. Come here.
Hey, and I'm posting. Hey, I'm gonna post. I'm
Hey.
gonna post the link to the code breakers
Yeah,
right now, so people can.
You can talk in it. Can y'all hear him?
Is that Paradox in the background?
Yeah, that's Paradox. I gave one of my headsets.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on with?
Chilling, man. You know, we're just talking a little bit of the business of college football, man. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, we was kind of coming through contracts, and you know, we're just kind of looking at all that kind of nerdo stuff, man. All that nerdy college football stuff.
If we knew that y'all was going to go on, man, we would have probably made it a little bit more proper, man. Because like we always meet up before the games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of our partners, we always check out football games and stuff and do all that deal on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, they're talking about the whole situation where BGS was talking about, he couldn't finish the whole thing and everything, or he couldn't complete his whole sentence and stuff. He even tried to have Paradox turn on me. That was kind of crazy, right? I was like, yo, are you for real, bro? Yeah, that's crazy.
You guys want to you want to go back to the lot? You want to check it out?
Wait, Complex. Can we finish those? There's a couple other articles I wanted to highlight real quick.
That's right.
Yeah, if we could go to, I'll give you the names of them real quick.
Wait,
don't spoil the game, DC. I'm recording it. Don't spoil it.
What game? Wait, what game you talking about?
The Dallas game.
Oh, y'all got it, man.
You see, we wrecking shop, right?
Don't spoil it for me, bro. Don't spoil it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck though, DC. I'm a college. I follow pros like passively, but I'm a college football junkie. I follow college, dude. That's what I really follow.
I'm on that table right over there. I'm on the table right over
Complex.
there.
If you want to go to the one titled Longhorn Network, because I also want to address this idea of, okay, they should just like JSU do their own thing. I want to show what the Longhorn Network, how that worked out for them.
I think that that was the one I was just gonna open.
Man, this is bad, bro. This is bad. New York looks terrible, bro.
All right, hold on 1 second. Here we go. All right. Hey, let me do this. Hey, y'all go ahead and just chop it up for a minute. I'm gonna go blow my nose, dude. This shit is killing me right now.
Okay.
Take a couple minutes. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and chop it up, man. I'll be right back.
All right.
No. I was going to say, DC, did you want to give any insight into your time as being an athlete at HBCU?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like what I was just saying. That when you have the experience of going to school, especially at an HBCU, you know the challenges that occur, especially in the financials of it all, and that's what Deion ran into. And like I said, it's better now. It's not as bad as it used to be. That's probably. Can you hear it? Is it kind of sound funny? Okay, but I say it's probably a lot better than what it used to be. I mean, but SWAC always struggled, because they got Prairie View, Alcorn State. Alcorn State is in Mississippi, right? You have Mississippi Valley State. Are they MEAC or are they SWAC? With any of the other schools, Texas Southern, those schools. So those schools are kind of like they're geared towards their athletic departments more so than anything else. They get a lot of funding because they play in these classic bowls and stuff like that. So with the challenges of the HBCU, the money doesn't get allocated in the right departments all the time. They're missing money in different departments. So the financial aid office may not have enough money to give kids. The facilities are not up to par. Your weight room, like our weight room, can be. It can look like it can literally look like a walk-in closet. Now, like I said, it's better now. Like the school I went to, it's tremendously. It's 100% better. Like they done work on it. You know what I mean? And I think at Jackson State when Deion was there, he even showed when he first got there to what it is now. They completely renovated the whole stuff, and that's what's supposed to happen. But he just ran into the challenges there, man, where the money gets funny and stuff like that, and then they had too much light there as far as the fandom, which they couldn't handle. it was just too much for him, man. That's what happened at JSU when Deion was
I
there,
agree.
and the reason why he had that struggle, because they just couldn't see the big picture with him being there, what he was really trying to do. They was too concerned with legacy and how it, you're not really swag, you're not really from, you don't really deal with us for real, you know what I'm saying? You're just using us to kind of catapult your way to stardom. And they never thought about it. He's making the sacrifice by being there and coaching the team. So it just didn't go right. Their relationship, it wasn't reciprocal between the guys that was already there. They didn't embrace him like they should have. And that's
But I
what I'm
was gonna
saying.
say,
Like, they should have embraced him better than they did when he
but
went to coach.
even if they did, I don't see him be. Even if they embraced him full stock, he's not going to be able to take Jackson State to an Alabama, a Texas level, a USC level.
Oh no.
That takes decades to do.
No. That's I mean, not just decades to do, but white people are not going to let that happen. That's totally different. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. We have to compete at such a level to where they've got to allow us to play them on a regular basis to demonstrate dominance over them. See, because they already don't like doing that. They don't like playing these schools. So to get them used to kind of the competition, they rather us play each other and kind of keep the competition lackadaisical. So they don't want to play the D1s. The D1s don't like playing the black schools like that. I do know that for sure.
Well, I was going to say on top of that too. I know, like, his second and third year, he probably got more shine at JSU than Ole Miss did. People weren't happy about that.
What do you think about that? You think that's true?
I think they did. Like when they were undefeated, and like, because you got to think, game day went to Jackson State. I don't remember them going to Ole Miss.
Well, game day. The thing is, game day went and traveled with Deion because that was his first. That was his third year. How many years he was there? 3 years.
Yeah.
So his first year they didn't really give him that much time, but they started to win, and he has. Think about it, man. Deion has about 2 or 3 blue chippers on his team that should play. His son should play for a D1 school. It's clear.
Right.
Yeah.
His son is probably the best quarterback in the nation. He has him. It's just the fact that he's Deion's son. But the fact is, you've seen the results. That kid, I mean, he's pretty much it's him and Caleb. They're the best quarterbacks in the country. Like it's their hands, and he has an NFL body already. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He looks like he's playing with kids out there. He's literally a man amongst boys. He needs to go. He needs to jump. He needs to jump next year. He doesn't even need to come back. To tell you the truth, he needs to get on his journey to get to the pros. We know what it looks like. It's clear that he's levels beyond these guys that's playing. Just look at the other quarterbacks play, and then look at Sadir. It's night and day, dog. From the brain, the processing, the speed, the way he processed the field. He reached the field. He reached the field like an NFL quarterback. That's the reason why he's so meticulous. If you notice, he doesn't even like to run. He doesn't even like to use his athletic ability.
No, he doesn't.
He could, but he just don't even. He could just run for like 100 yards if he wanted to.
Look, right now, that dude is passing at 80% completion.
Yeah, and it's night and day when you watch him play.
Not only that, 2 games, and he almost passed for 1,000 yards, and he's at 909 yards in 2 games.
Right.
Okay?
And think about it. He really don't have that good of a line. That's the funny part.
No,
he doesn't really have that good of a line.
Look,
so can you imagine if he had like an Alabama line or say like a LSU kind of line that they could block, and the big old hogs up in the front, all Americans? Come on, man.
But
it would be unfair.
But that's the reason why they run more of like I'm not trying to attribute it to Mike Leach, rest in peace to him, but more of like an air raid, right? In terms of like they think about who they be having out. They have Weaver, they'll have Hunter, they'll have what's his name, Dylan Edwards, they'll have what's his name, Tavarish, what was his name? That the brother, he scored like twice yesterday. I swear to God, they got so many weapons on the field, though. You got to account for them.
Yeah.
They make up for the defense. Because I know what you're talking about, because Shadur got pressured a few times.
Yeah.
And one throw that he made, I swear to God, bro, I don't know how he sat in there, but he threw that bitch when he hit homeboy down the flat, down the side of the field.
Did you see that long throw in coverage to Travis Hunter?
Yes.
Like a 50-yard string.
Yes.
Dude, that's an NFL throw all day.
That's what I'm saying.
Outside the numbers, you don't do that in college, man.
Them reads.
You do not do that in college, man.
No, dude.
Yes,
Like
sir.
he played for a high school powerhouse, bro. Like they played like when he played Texas Trinity, that high school where Deion coached at. Where he
Yeah,
coached him
yeah,
up. Man,
yeah.
I mean, dude, they're like a Texas powerhouse in high school, dude. They play like elite level football at the high school ranks, dude. Like he can't, dude. Come on, man. Deion had him prepped since day one, man.
Yeah, and if you notice, he always had him around Tom Brady, Peyton Manning to kind of
Yes,
tutor
sir.
Shador to kind of get
Yep.
him into that level. Like, I'm not going to get you just, they're not going to just use you for running the ball. Like,
For running the ball and
yeah,
stuff.
like, they're not going to just run you down and just
You're
make
not
you
gonna be
this
a
kind of
dual
like running
threat.
quarterback.
No,
Right, right, right,
you're
right.
not gonna be a dual threat. No, man. You're gonna be a
No,
pass.
I'm saying he got that in him. You can see it in him, but he's just like, I don't have to use it
But dude,
until it's necessary.
but
That's the point.
and even then, like I said, even then, he will sit in that pocket.
He was sitting in the pocket.
He will
Exactly
sit in
right.
that bitch. His first instinct is to throw it. What up, Lou?
No, but to answer your question, Renaissance, I want to go back to your question. Answer your question about the differences as far as HBCU. The differences is the funding, the financial component. You know that the money is not always going to come down to your department because the money is being spread thin around the university, especially during the time when we went to school. It's a little, like I said, it's a little bit better now. There's more funding that's given to HBCUs, but they're still struggling. Schools like Jackson State are still struggling because they need more help than others. So I can imagine that with the situation that he was experiencing, just like Bethune-Cookman is another one with Ed Reed. Remember, with Ed Reed
Yep.
had to pick up trash around the school and all that type of stuff. He even had the football players doing it, and they,
But see,
nobody does that.
but
But
DC, here's
that's
the
the
thing.
stress of being at those black schools.
But DC, here's the thing, man. Like, well, don't these schools have like budget for groundskeepers and stuff?
Yeah, but
Why aren't
I
they
mean, come
taking
on,
care of
man.
that shit? Bro,
You're right. It should be. This is a should thing. Yeah, it should. You're right. It should be taken care of. It's just.
Well, that's what.
Huh? Can y'all hear Paradox? Can y'all hear Paradox?
No,
it's Paradox. Yeah, Paradox was saying so. What did he say?
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you can also transition over talking about white schools and how they deal with their poor facilities. And many of those schools are struggling. And also a lot of the schools that actually have money, how they drain football teams and spread that money across the whole university as well. Most of these schools, if you want to look at it from that perspective, or even HBCUs versus those schools, they exploit the football team. Everybody know that. Take full advantage of it and move that money into other places.
But see, that's why
it actually drowns some of those local economies in those. A lot of those schools exist. A lot of those schools don't exist in big cities like that. They be in more rural. Like if you look at University of Georgia, for example, they're in Athens. I mean, that's not a big city in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? But the football team drives a lot of the local economy.
Yeah.
And so, but again, that's why I dropped a couple of articles in the chat, because I didn't even know that she did this in 2020. But Jeff Bezos, man, ex-wife, she donated what was the number? Nah, it was more than that. She donated 400 million to some HBCUs.
Wow.
So
that's big. That's why it's I'm telling you, it's so different now, because you go to any HBCU, if you're an alumni there, anybody that went, they know it's different, man. They have made renovations wholesale at all the schools, man.
Yep.
All of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to get to. See, what a lot of these cats don't understand, Deion going to an HBCU brought a lot of eyeballs to HBCUs. A lot of people didn't even know, especially as far as white people are concerned, they didn't really know about HBCUs like that. So him bringing former NFL players, great NFL players coming down there, bringing eyeballs there, generated not just a lot of buzz, but a lot of money to come into those particular schools. It made other people who were in a philanthropic mindset to look at these places as a way. I mean, you're talking about, there's some, I just put the article in the chat. You have some schools, HBCUs, that receive $40, $50 million donations. These people had never seen that kind of money like that. You know what I'm saying?
It makes a tremendous difference, man.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. This is where it really makes the greatest difference. When you can get a grant, when you can get a donation at that money level, not a loan but a grant.
Right.
You're talking about being able to, if you don't already have the capacity or it's at a low number, to establish an endowment or greatly increase your endowment. So now you can really generate some money on behalf of the school, because you're not constantly having to beg for money all the time. Now you can put your money in certain investments like these other top schools do. When you look at schools like Harvard and you say they got a 30, 40, $50 billion endowment, it's because these schools are making investments just like anybody else. They'll invest in the stock market, they'll invest in the real estate market.
Their alumni will be able to give back as well too.
Like alumni
you
too
have
as well.
Harvard
So
alumni that'll give $2 billion, to the school.
Right.
All right. I wanted to hit this article right here. This is with regards to the Longhorn Network. God damn, dude, my nose is killing me right now. Okay, so last rodeo for the Longhorn Network. Texas venture ESPN goes away when University of Texas joined the SEC. When the Longhorn Network launched in 2011, the 20-year, $300 million partnership with ESPN set up Texas with its own 24-hour television showcase that sent shockwaves across college sports. Some say can still be felt today. Rivals in the Big 12 Conference bitterly complained that swaggering Longhorns were stomping over the rest of the league and would reap the unfair recruiting advantage amid the shower of cash. Some worried Texas was about to become a runaway train in college athletics. 12 years after the studio lights flickered on, the network will soon go dark. Longhorn Network will be folded into the SEC network when Texas joins the Southeast Conference next summer. Once again, we were just talking about the power of the conference. It's not about the school oftentimes. Most times when we talk about the big money shit, it has to deal with the conference. This academic year is the last for a pioneering effort that forced new NCAA rules, laid the groundwork for emerging conference networks, and played a role in what would be a decade of realignment. Yeah, it was bold, said former Texas Athletic Director DeLoss Dodds, the architect of the idea for the LHN. We built something we can be proud of. I think it's a big loss for Texas to have to give it up. Dodds' vision was to build something that would elevate the Longhorns athletics beyond football and basketball. He wanted more exposure for volleyball, softball, baseball, and other sports. Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what an athletic director does. He makes money for his program. Once it got rolling, LHN would broadcast nearly 200 live events annually from across all Longhorn sports. The first live competition was a volleyball match, school graduation ceremonies, and even student fashion shows. Bruh. But in television business, football is king. ESPN wanted to tap into the massive Texas alumni base and the passion around the Longhorns, around a Longhorns program that had won a national championship in 2005 and played for another in 2009. They saw Texas as a national brand that fans could watch across the U.S. if they had the right cable provider. Once again, this isn't about the gynocracy. This is all about business. We're going to cover Texas football like it's never been covered before. Burke Magnus, then Senior Vice President of College Sports Programming for ESPN, declared when the deal for LHN was announced. That meant the broad range of behind-the-scenes programming, including pregame and postgame coverage. Some of it was too much. Former Texas coach Mac Brown was annoyed that the network's cameras were always watching. Yeah, he was always bitching about it. Our rivals all got Longhorn Network, and they watched us practice. They could text each other and say, so-and-so looked good, Brown said. You had to ask them to turn the cameras off. One idea never came to fruition. The ESPN executive mentioned in a radio interview that LHN was considering airing high school football games of a top recruit. Oh, no. I thought it was a great idea, Brown said. I also thought it would never happen. He was right. The blowback from Big 12 members was swift. Angry rivals considered it a step too far in the recruiting wars. What do we tell y'all, man? This is beyond gynocracy shit. That can't happen. Are you kidding me? Then Missouri football coach Gary Pinkel said at the time. The NCAA quickly ruled that a school or a league-affiliated network cannot broadcast high school games. But the emergence of the LHN, coupled with the perception that Texas already had too much power or too much sway over the Big 12, proved to be a tipping point for some. Colorado and Nebraska had already left the previous year, and by the start of the 2011 season, Texas A&M announced it was going to the SEC. That was when Kevin Sumlin became coach over there.
Wait. Now, Complex, real quick. I just
Yeah.
wanted to highlight on this that, Texas did this, and they did the competitors, to like DC said, of everyone, is competing against one another, and it happens at the bigger schools. Same thing there. Those schools essentially left because you like you said, you have a school that left as well as other schools that spoke out against this. No one was looking at, this is more eyes for the Big 12, this and that. Like that
they
same
were like
sort of
they were looking at it as an advantage for them.
Exactly. That same sort of thing is sort of viewed the same way at these bigger schools. And coupled with, once again, you'll see further down, even though this was, they said they want to tap into the eyeballs because of the large alumni network, because there's over 40,000 students that go to UT Austin. And then the last thing you'll see is that at the end of the day, even this $300 million over 20 years, that paled in comparison to what they're going to get in an SEC deal.
Yeah, since Don said he believes the schools would have left the Big 12 anyway, still he notes some irony in the Aggies' departure since the network initially was intended as a joint project with Texas A&M because he didn't think Texas had enough programming to carry on a 24-hour operation. He also thought the schools would have to pay for the network themselves, and it would be easier and cheaper for two schools to do it. A&M declined. It wasn't until Fox offered $3 million a year and ESPN countered with its even larger deal that Dodds realized Texas really had something. A bonanza of money, Dodd said. It was just unbelievable. There were initial struggles to secure deals with the cable and satellite carriers to get LHN in front of viewers. Critics snickered Texas created a network simply to show reruns of Vince Young's game-winning dash to victory over USC. But LHN eventually found its way into more homes in front of more viewers and began to take shape. Soon, LHN was producing coverage of all Texas sports, from rowing to volleyball to swimming. And it had to be good, said Pat Lowry, vice president production for ESPN. It was always about doing good television. I wanted the quality to be just as good as anything we saw on ESPN. I used to watch some of the Texas stuff. It did look pretty good. Some opposing teams were suspicious and didn't want to talk with LHN reporters or let them into pregame warmups. There were times different coaches were like, no, we don't want you to be in here. The money ESPN threw at Texas in 2011 isn't surprising anymore. The Big Ten struck a $7 billion deal across 3 networks in 2022. Dude, $7 billion damn dollars. Texas will land in the SEC just in time for a new $3 billion conference deal with ESPN that gives the network the broadcast rights to all football league games.
Yeah, leagues. It's all about the leagues.
LSU will be shuttered without football, without the football team delivering the initial hope since 13-1 finish in 2009. Texas has gone 91-72 with 5 losing seasons and hasn't won the Big 12. Its initial year, I know that's what's funny. They got really into the network, and all of a sudden they just sucked. In this final year of the network and the Longhorns' final year of the Big 12, Texas will start the season ranked number 11 and is a favorite to win the league. Let's see. Longhorns home game September. Wyoming will be on the LHN. The network will broadcast much of the season for the defending national champion Texas volleyball team. Yeah. So.
Yeah, just wanted to highlight that one. Like I said, on network being formed. Like I said, people viewed it as very much competition, a threat amongst the different commissioners, different ads. This stuff happens at all schools because everyone is trying to compete. So the idea that you were going to have all of these SWAC schools get behind them and or pay his salary as was suggested, it just
no way.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and it had nothing to do with people being jealous. It was just, hey, those people are competition.
Yeah. All right, you guys, look, I'm going to have to step away, dude. My nose is like really bothering me right now. Give me a second. All right. Let's see here. All right. So I think we're all squared up, man, on this one, dude. I think we've kind of beat this one.
Wait, Complex. Can we do one more article if you got it in you, just on the college football revenues? It's just going to show you the revenues by the top 10
All right, give me a
programs.
second here.
If you have it in you.
I do. I can't even fucking breathe out my nose right now. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Yeah,
Yep.
ranking college sports programs by revenue. Here, let me just
Yeah,
scan
you can just scroll down and show the numbers. It'll list them out.
let's see here. So we got Oklahoma. We got, let's see, 177 million. Okay. In annual revenue. Penn State, 181. Florida, 190. Texas A&M, 193. LSU, 199 million. Georgia, 203. Michigan, 210 million. Let's see, Alabama, 214 million. Texas, 239 million. I mean, shit, they only had their own network. And Ohio State, the Ohio State, as they say, $251 million.
Yeah. Just wanted to highlight, if you look at those schools, all large public institutions, state flagship schools, been around for who knows how long, great football programs. That's how much money they're generating every year. And, this idea that you could have got Jackson State to $1 billion. I mean, like you said, the highest right now annually is $250 million for the Ohio State University. And they've got 60,000 students, something like that.
Yeah, it's not even, that's what I'm saying. What he was saying wasn't even realistic, right? What he was saying wasn't even realistic. Like, that's why we're like, dude, this is a business to college football, networks, conferences, and enrollment numbers, all that shit factors in, dude. Like, there's nothing about a gynocracy that has anything to do with any of this, and you just saw it right there. Okay, like Ohio State is the highest profitable, highest revenue generating program, and it's only at $251 million. Deion was not going to bring $1 billion to Jackson State. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
And let me say this too about the revenue in terms of money that's made through your athletics and money that comes in through gifts that can help you increase your endowment. You got to understand that being able to build up large endowments in terms of revenue allows you to attract top, high quality professors to your school. See, a lot of times when there are Black people who go to school to become professors and things like that, one of the things that will drive them towards PWIs, for example, is the notion that they can make more money in these particular institutions. And so this is one of the things that Deion highlighted when he showed the conditions that a lot of the Black students were dealing with. And so if you're a professor, or you come out of school to become a professor as a Black person, and you see conditions like that, I mean, are you more than likely going to try to go into those environments? Or are you going to try to get in an environment that's more suitable to what you're looking for? And so the teaching aspect, the education aspect of the type of quality of professors that you have to deliver the information. Prairie View, Shonda just talked about this in the article that I linked, had a $50 million gift from Mackenzie Bezos that they're using to attract. This was like 2020 that they were trying to attract about 23 tenure track professors, as well as designing the new engineering lab. So you're talking about Black students being able to have certain labs where you can perform the type of scientific endeavors that spark creativity and new forms of tech. And so now that you have those infusions of capital, you can actually attract top quality talent in terms of professors that really are. There are a lot of people who will go to certain schools because of just certain professors. They know about them. They research the school. They like, you know, people have said good things about the professor. So people
especially if it's a
can't
master's or a doctoral program. That's
exactly.
too.
Exactly, Renaissance. So you can't underestimate that as it relates to a Black student potentially looking at going to a particular college. Those professors really do count, especially at the higher degree level.
Yeah, that and the quality of student that you're able to recruit. Because the thing is, like, the reason you have people who want to go to a Harvard or a Yale or something, or, you know, one of the elite schools there, is they know that basically they're going to be the pick of the litter when it comes to jobs and network and things like that. So it's the prestige of your university, it's the size of your endowment, it's the quality of your alumni, it's the professors you have, because if you have the better professors and they're experts, they usually have connections in industry where they can help you get, you know, high quality jobs. And thus, you know, when you have people who are able to, you know, finish their degree, finish their master's degree, and, you know, come out with, you know, $150,000, $200,000 job, you know, that just sets them up to, you know, make a lot of money throughout their career, and then be in a position to, you know, when they get into their 50s and 60s and things like that, to be able to make a, you know, a large gift. Or just, you know, some people, just your smartest people, or, you know, most innovative people, they just make it big, and, you know, make you know, become multimillionaires, billionaires, and then they're able to write huge checks to their universities as well. So, you know, that's the thing I just really wanted to emphasize, and where this conversation kind of went when we started talking about, you know, why the reasons, you know, Deion left and why he wasn't able to necessarily do all these things, is that there are a lot of structural factors that have to be, you know, addressed. And then the fact that you have these institutions that, like we pointed out, that have been underfunded by the state by $12 billion. I mean, it's just, you can't be put at that sort of disadvantage and then expect one man to come in and lift up a one school or a conference. You there, Complex?
You probably stepped away, though.
DC, did you have anything to add if you're still there?
Yeah. We still here. We still here. No, we good, man. We good. We're gonna probably do a program. If we, man, the way this game is looking, we'll probably do one either tonight or early tomorrow. Yeah. So to kind of go over a little bit more of what you guys have already started here. But no, we good. We good though. Yeah. Anything, Paradox?
Okay, I guess when Complex comes back, we can wrap up, because, like I said, I think we've for the most part kind of hit this all home, in the sense of what we just really wanted to get at, to make sure that, you know, these things weren't taken out of context, or were not really understood in the grand scheme of things, and just, you know, how the system really works, how these large institutions are able to make so much money. So looks like you're back, Complex. I think.
Yeah. Hey, my bad, dude. I had to go blow my nose again.
No. I hear you. No, I think. No, I think we're good. You know, all of us kind of giving our thoughts. Unless you want to add anything
DC,
else.
you said you're gonna go live.
Yeah. We may go live a little bit later on tonight, but we'll send out. We'll let everybody know beforehand, though. We'll send you guys to let you know.
Okay,
just in case y'all want to come up.
Yeah, go back and listen to that, man. Because
yeah, for sure, man. We definitely will, man. We definitely will. But yeah, it's just a shame, man. It's just a shame. I thought that, you know, the truth could kind of like weigh itself out, and our ego won't get the best of us. But obviously, that's not the case, man.
Well,
so,
you know, man. No, I mean, here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, I you know, I like to stand on what it is that I know. I mean, we all do, right? You know, we can kind of, especially we get to talking about something we really are passionate about, like football, college football, and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes, man, like, because I heard you kind of got triggered. You was like, man, what? And, you know, it's just sort of like when somebody throws something in that does not apply, man, you know, sometimes it's just, it happens, man, you know. So it wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't anything personal. It was just like, come on, bro, that's not what's going on here. So,
Well, this is the problem when people exist in a theoretical world and don't have any skin in the game, and who never have had to live those experiences. Everything is just theory, and you don't really understand how things work. You know, DC was talking about how he was a student athlete at a HBCU. He understood intimately what
right,
goes on in
right,
that process in terms of what students need and what's lacking. So when you it's like at a certain point, man. And I've said this to this particular cat before, when I had to blast him myself. It's like you're talking to men a lot of times who are in their 40s, you know, early 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, and even though you might be in your 60s, yo, we know some stuff too. Like, we're not 20-year-olds here. You know what I'm saying? I got gray in my beard. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 50
sure,
in
man.
5 years.
Gray in my beard and
So,
my head, man. Jesus.
like, so you can't come out here with this know-it-all mentality. That don't even work with 20-year-olds. But you definitely can't come with that kind of mentality, with people in their 40s and trying to sun them like they're kids. Like, you don't know everything. Um, and you know, when people are giving you the kind of respect, like, they'll give you credit for some stuff that you bring to the fore. Like, yo, just sit back, man, and let some other people teach you some stuff too. Like, 'cause you literally don't know everything. Like, no one man can know everything. It's impossible.
Basically, man. Well, look, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just shut this down. You know, this one's on the record, so you know, if BGS wants to go ahead and give it a response, he can. You know, we don't mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
yeah,
thanks, Complex, for reading through, and everyone, please share the video and like it as well if you have a chance.
yeah, and links to all the articles are in the description. So those sources are there for anyone who wants to, you know, who wants to verify the information for themselves. So, yeah, with that, man, we're going to go ahead and close this one down. I appreciate everyone from coming through. Like the video, share this video, and we'll catch y'all next one. Peace out.